I don't even know what I was using at first. I was using like some bullshit. Like, I'm pretty sure I was just using like some Walmart socks. Like, it was bad for my feet. I really messed my feet up as a result. And I really wish when I was a beginner like that, I had. What's up, everybody? I'm back for another video. Another one of these rambling generic gear videos that for some reason people keep clicking on. Doesn't matter, I'm back as always. And today I'm gonna be going over, nailed it. I'm gonna be going over 5 backpacking gear items that I should have gotten sooner. Some items that maybe I got a little bit of regret that I didn't have the foresight to buy these items when I first started backpacking. And fortunately for you, you got resources like this one to help you not make these mistakes. And so as a result, you need to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. A lot of new viewers over the past few weeks. Channel's been popping off a little bit, if you know what I mean. So if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so. And if you have, make sure you also hit the notification bell. Like every other YouTuber tells you in every generic video like this first backpacking gear item that I should have gotten sooner. I don't know what the that was. Is this right here? Well, not this. This right here, a Sawyer water filter. This is not sponsored, although they have sponsored me in the past, but I swear it's this one's not sponsored. Although if they want to sponsor me again, Sawyer, you know where to find me. And honestly guys, some of the items in these videos are gonna be like very brand or like item specific, like this one right here, but some of these are gonna be a little bit more broad and generic as well. So I promise you, I'm not just gonna try to tell you for this entire video that you have to get like each specific item. But anyways, the reason why I wish I had gotten this item sooner was because it is, in my opinion, the easiest, most effective and fastest way to filter your water when you are backpacking. When I first started out, and I've talked about this in other videos before, I bought a Steri-Pen. And I don't want to just completely shit on Steri-Pens because I do know that they're good for certain things, backpacking probably not being one of them, but I know they have their purpose, right? And I'm sure they've also gotten a lot better since the last time I used one, which was many years ago. However, I used a Steri-Pen, and that thing just, it sucked. Like, it was just a terrible, terrible idea. First of all, batteries suck. They should delete them. Batteries are not something you want to be relying on when you're backpacking if you don't have to. Obviously, there's items where you have to, like your GPS or your cell phone, or like you have to be relying on batteries. But a water filter is not one of those items. You don't have to rely on batteries for this, and thus you should not, unless things change in the future, which they probably will. And you could shit on me in the comment section when that happens. But until then, I really do believe that this is the way to go in terms of water filtration. And I guess I could broaden it out a little bit. I know there are alternatives to the Sawyer filter that are very similar. I have not used these. I hear great things about a lot of them, so you should get this one. Honestly, I do like this one, and I'll have a link to all this gear in the description, by the way, as you probably already figured out. I just like the way a filter like this works. All you have to do is screw it onto your bottle, and it's nice because you don't have to wait for, like, you know, you don't have to stir the water like with the Steri-Pen thing, or you don't have to wait for the water to be treated for like half an hour or whatever, like you do with a lot of the chemical treatments. For this, you get the water and then you drink the water. It's easy to filter it through. Let's see if some water comes out. Nope, it's a little bit, I guess. It's just easy, it's lightweight, and I think I would have drank a lot more water and been a lot less thirsty when I first started out, because I was a thirsty boy if I had gone with the Sawyer Squeeze filter. On to item number 2. Item number 2 are trekking poles. And for this item, I'm not gonna recommend you have to get like this specific trekking pole, which is the Lecky Corklite trekking pole. I don't even know if they make these still, to be honest with you. But for this video, no, for this item number 2, gear for this, why can't I, Jesus Christ. For this item, trekking poles in general are the gear item that I wish I had gotten sooner, that I wish I had gotten when I was a beginner backpacker. Are they a requirement? No, I'm not gonna stand here and tell you, wow, that these are absolutely essential to get started backpacking. However, I do think they help. And one of the major reasons why I think it's a good idea to at least consider getting some trekking poles as a beginner backpacker, is because your pack's probably gonna be a lot heavier and maybe a little bit more uncomfortable than it will be as you get better at backpacking and just get better gear and just have a better understanding of what the you're doing. And as a result, having trekking poles to help you balance, help with your stride, take some of the pressure off of your knees, your ankles, your legs. It's gonna help you a lot, and it could potentially save you from like some bad falls or some, you know, some overuse injuries, some stuff like that. So I really think that I would have been in better shape if I had hiked with some trekking poles when I was a beginner backpacker, and I would recommend that anybody out there who can afford to do so, that maybe sees the value in these things as a beginner, invest in some trekking poles. All right. Item number 3. I really wish I had gotten some darn tough socks, and this is very brand specific. I know I said the other ones weren't as brand specific. This is, again, I'm not sponsored, but I would love to be, because I live in the same state as Darn Tough Socks. We both take a lot of pride in being Vermonters, so if you work for Darn Tough, this is just a pitch for me to be sponsored this entire video at this point, but no. I think, and honestly, a lot of other backpackers and hikers will agree with this. These are by far the most common socks you're gonna see out there. I think these are the best hiking and backpacking socks, hands down. I like these socks so much that they're basically the only socks I wear anywhere, no matter what I'm doing. Like seriously, these are like the only socks I wear to do anything. They're the best. And obviously, given the name, they are tough. They are very tough. However, they are socks, and if you use them enough, they are still going to wear out, albeit a little bit slower than most other socks you're probably wearing right now. But when they do wear out, like if you drop them on the ground like I just did there, Darn Tough will replace them for free. You heard that right. They will replace them for free. Sometimes you can actually go to like a gear outfitter, like REI for instance, and you literally hand them your like beat up shitty pair of socks. You have to wash them, obviously. Don't be handing people like your fucking gross ass socks. But you know, you hand them your old socks and they will literally give you a new pair for free. Well, it's not free, you paid for the first pair, but you know what I mean? Like you can replace them for free, which helps because they are a little bit expensive. They're usually around 20 bucks for a pair of socks. If you're cheap like me, you might see that and be like, I'm not gonna pay 20 bucks for a pair of socks. But that return policy, that exchange policy really helps. Now, not every outfitter will do the exchange. You really have to check with them individually. Like don't just walk into any outfitter, like you gotta call them or something before. But if your local outfitter doesn't do that, you can actually ship the socks to Darn Tough and they'll ship you a new pair. So no matter where you are, you could be up in Barrow, Alaska. As long as you have a zip code, Darn Tough will get you a replacement pair. That being said, you're not gonna be wearing through too many pairs of these. I've only had to replace like a few pairs over the years, and I wear them, like I said, pretty much every single day. I don't even know what I was using at first. I was using like some bullshit, like not even like other reputable, like not even Smartwool. Like I'm pretty sure I was just using like some Walmart socks. Like it was bad for my feet. I really messed my feet up as a result. And I really wish when I was a beginner like that, I had the old Darn Tough socks, especially because they're made right here in my backyard. Like there's a bunch of people making socks right over, you see them? No, just kidding. This isn't even my backyard. Fooled ya. Item number 3, or 4, yeah. I will admit that this one is a little bit personal to me. This probably isn't a mistake, an item that a lot of beginner backpackers neglect. However, I did, and this is my channel. So I'm gonna get a little personal every now and then, okay? I can't just always be, you know, pleasing the masses, all right? This item is a canister stove. And again, yeah, I know like most beginner backpackers probably know like to get a fucking canister stove. It's usually like one of the first things that pops up when you start researching gear, you know, okay. Hear me out. When I first started, I was really cheap, and I was also like 15, 16 years old, so I didn't really have any money. And so when I was researching stoves and backpacking cooking setups, I discovered that I could have paid the 30, 40, 50 bucks for, at the time, what were like the popular stoves, like the MSR Pocket Rocket, for instance. I could have done that, or I could have explored this hot new ultralight backpacking trend of alcohol stoves. I was like, I could pay 30 bucks for the Pocket Rocket, $30 that I don't have, or I could just go to the grocery store, buy a can of cat food, give it to my cats, because I had a bunch of cats, and then I could use that to make an alcohol stove and it'd be a lot cheaper. So that's what I did. Now, did 16-year-old Kyle have any business like playing with lighting fluid on fire in his backyard like that? Absolutely not. And it was a fire hazard to everybody in my neighborhood. However, that didn't stop me. And I ended up making a few alcohol stoves. And when I actually tried to use them, I discovered that I had no idea how to use them. It seems simple, and with a little bit of practice, I'm sure I could have gotten it. However, I had a really hard time judging how much alcohol to put in the stove. I would always put too much in, and then once my water was boiling, I was just left with like a burning thing that I couldn't put out, and it was just not safe. It was a huge pain in the ass. And so eventually I caved and I just ended up buying a canister stove like this one, and I still use one to this day. Another problem I ran into is that I like to cook my food a little bit. Like I use the Nor rice sides a lot of the time. I'm not just boiling the water. I want to bring it to a boil and then I want to simmer a little bit and stir my food and kind of do that thing. And I'm sure somebody's figured it out with the alcohol stoves, but you can't really, there's no way to control the heat for the most part, right? It's either on or it's off. Versus these guys, you can, give her a little twist like that and you can control how much flame's coming out and all that good stuff. I should have bought a canister stove much sooner than I did when I was a beginner backpacker, and shame on me for that. Don't make that mistake. Buy a canister stove. I'll have a link to this one in the description. I've been talking about this stove a lot lately. I love this thing. Although I just read a comment right before I started to film this video that somebody said this exact stove, the BSR or BRS stove, melted on them. That's f***ed. I've used this a lot. It's never melted on me. Flossie, my buddy, uses it too. It's never melted on him. If that was you, comment what the hell happened, because that's no good. We don't want people's stoves melting, but from my experience, this little stove here is dope. Link in the description, although I'm sure you're not gonna buy it after I just said that. This next item is an item, again, I've talked about before, and probably an item you've seen me wear and use in a lot of my videos, especially this year because I've been getting rained on a lot. That's right, folks, it's a raincoat. It's the Frogg Toggs raincoat specifically. Let's f***ing go. This jacket gets me stoked. I love this jacket. And if you don't know what this is, you're gonna be very pleasantly surprised to find out this is not some expensive multi-$100 rain jacket made by some crazy big brand that you can only buy at REI or whatever. No, this is a dirt cheap rain jacket, and not only that, but it is a extremely lightweight rain jacket. Now this isn't a budget video. This isn't an ultralight video. This isn't a weight saving video. However, those of you that watch this channel a lot probably know that I like to save money and I like to keep my gear as light as possible. And this item right here does both of those things. But it doesn't just do that, because if it was lightweight and it was cheap but it didn't work for shit, then it would not be a very good recommendation, would it be? Wouldn't it be? No, it wouldn't be. This thing will keep you dry and it will keep you warm as well. It's not a winter jacket. Don't use it in January in a snowstorm. That's not what I'm saying. But for a 3-season backpacking rain jacket, this thing will keep you dry, or as dry as any rain jacket's gonna keep you in a rainstorm anyways, and it will keep you warm. Is it the most comfortable thing in the world? Not really, but it's not uncomfortable either. And it's probably not very stylish, to be honest, but I'm not really selling this very well, am I? But you can go pick this up at Walmart, or link in my description. Yeah, there I go with all this. That's what we do, okay? We're backpacking YouTubers. It's widely available, it's lightweight, it's cheap, and it will keep you warm and dry. I used one Frogg Togg rain jacket on my entire thru hike of the Appalachian Trail. One of these rain jackets, albeit barely, lasted 2,190.9 miles, which is impressive. I know a lot of thru hikers and experienced backpackers who have some otherwise pretty expensive, nice gear that still prefer to use the Frogg Toggs, simply because sometimes the really expensive stuff just isn't as good, or maybe it's just as good, but it's not worth the price because it's just as good, and you can get this for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And when I first started backpacking, I just had some random rain jacket that wasn't even backpacking specific. And it also, I still have the other jacket I'm talking about, by the way. And so I know for a fact it's really not that waterproof either. And so I got wet. I wish I had just gone with the Frogg Toggs. Hey, if you're new around here, like I said, subscribe to the channel. And if you watch these videos a lot and you really want to do me a solid and help support the dream, if you like what I'm doing here, or maybe you hate me, but you also hate yourself, patreon.com/KyleHatesHiking. That's where you gotta go. A couple bucks a month. It's the best way to support this content. Thank you so much to everybody who's on there. Thank you guys so much. I know who you are. I appreciate all of you. Let's wrap this up, eh? I'm Canadian now.